No, and I'm suspended, and I fully believe I still did not in any way, shape, or form. I don't feel great about it. I tried to make up for it at the end of the year. And
fired me. Middle year.
Mid-year, I fired him.
Firing you. All right. Welcome back to the Entrusted podcast. I'm Blayne Barber. I'm here with my co-hosts and the regular crew, Brock Murphy
And Ben Presley.
And today we are joined by the Bryan Brothers.
What an honor.
St. George. Thank you for being here.
You realize what a liability this is.
Yeah.
I do, but editing is a powerful tool. We got We got my phone's on silent. What an
Mine might not be either, but
everybody silence your phones. We have great back-end support, and if you say something stupid, which is highly likely, we will figure it out. It'll be great.
I'm going to try and go what is this, 30 or 40 minutes?
Yeah, or 2, 3, 4 hours. We'll see.
Okay, well, I'm going to try and go 30 minutes, keeping it tame.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Perfect. George and Wesley Bryan, thank you for being here. We're going to, you guys are in town shooting some content at the Auburn University Club, kind of making a road trip across the southern United States. And we kind of just always start with a life intro. So we typically frame it as, because the five of us sitting here are Christians and we're trying to relay lives in our world, lives in the world as followers of Jesus, kind of your first birth into your second birth. And we'll just kind of lay the groundwork in your childhood, and you can tag team each other because you're brothers. This is the first 5-man episode we've done. So where are you from?
Fivesome. Let's go.
Fivesome. Some courses allow it, some don't.
Hey, you're not going to do it.
So
making it work.
Yeah.
Where you're from, family dynamics, other siblings, etc. Take it where you want it.
Yeah. We grew up in Columbia, South Carolina, 37, 35, respectively. Grew up, I feel like it's pretty standard, love sports, love fighting with each other, just your typical boy.
Kind of the same now.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's changed. We have a sister, so there was 3 of us coming along, and I felt like it was a very your stereotypical Southern. We would probably claim to be Christians. We'd go to church occasionally, but I mean, it was just very. Standard operating procedures.
We would go pretty regularly, but then we would always leave early to go play golf.
Yeah, and so it was. But again, great parents.
Check box.
Yeah, we were very checkboxy, and so your great parents definitely weren't raised Christian, but weren't raised not Christian.
Mm-hmm. Kind of culturally Christian.
Yeah.
Assimilating to what everyone else is doing too.
Yeah, and so if we wanted to skip church to do homework. Definitely could. Yeah. And how much homework I did during those? 0. But that leads into college, and
in that time, your dad's a golf pro, right? Mm-hmm. During your childhood, he's a teaching pro.
Yeah. We got a golf club in our hand since before we could walk, basically.
Teaching pro or pro at a golf club, or both?
Both.
Okay.
And
yeah, kind of. That was very short lived. If you know my pops at all, he can't really work for people at a golf course.
George Bryan, Bryan the third.
But he did teach it.
I love you.
3 different courses: Northwoods, Charwood, Weed Hill, and so he was in Cobblestone. There's a bunch that he was kind of the teaching pro there.
Yeah.
And if anyone were to get lessons, it wouldn't be from the head pro at the courses; it would be from him. So he just built relationships with, and that's what.
He was always a lot of fun to hang out with. You would go take lessons because it was going to be a really enjoyable hour.
Yeah.
And he cared more about teaching them golf and having good relationships and enjoying the people, and less about being a good employee for somebody else and doing all the other stuff that goes into running a business or whatever. So
a very high level teacher. I think he was kind of ahead of his time in a lot of ways. He did things, which is, looking back at it, it's kind of crazy to think that that guy could be anywhere ahead of anyone's time.
Yeah.
If you know G3, it's that guy is.
He was one of the first people to give online golf lessons.
Oh,
really?
Does he have a lot going on up there? A lot of times, Dad? Not a lot. Not many. Not much going on up there. But golf, he just knew golf and how to teach people. And what he did teach was very I think pretty sound technical. But he knew how to his superpower was knowing what to say at the right times. For me, it might not have been the right technical thing per se, but he knew that player it was the correct time in which to introduce that information. So it worked for me, worked for Wesley. And
y'all had a relationship with G3 where he helped y'all. He was your coach.
Yeah, and so
George would ask for advice more often than I would. I would kind of rebel, and if he would tell me to do something, I would try the opposite to see if I could hit it good.
Yeah. Okay.
And
yeah.
I know that probably
my dad was not a teaching professional in any capacity. Was a recreational player, but I mean, my dad's who helped me all the way up until like my late high school years. He would just kind of give me, he'd be like, I don't know, I read this in Golf Digest, try it.
Is that what he did with Jason football?
Yeah. Well,
as a quarterback's coach?
Yes, exactly. I just saw this I just read this article. Like, I think you should do this.
But he was great. He basically, if there was a kid that was like wanted to be good, that kid would go play college golf, and it was like 100%. Yeah. And so like he was a great instructor. Which is like looking back, all the kids that got D1 scholarships that like you would see these guys when they were 10, 11, 12, 13, like they have no chance.
Yeah.
But they like, so it was great, great dad, great coach. And just like, instilled the love of golf for us.
Yeah.
35 and 37 years later, or 35 years later, we still love golf a whole lot. And it's still
really
a big, it's crazy. I know. Big part of our lives. That's probably an understatement.
So at one point in all that, whether it was initiated with your parents or whether it was something that happened in you guys, like when did your faith and your Christian journey shift from I need to check this box to like, man, I'm a sinner in need of a savior?
For me, that happened
because then your dad. Sorry to interrupt you. Your dad has like a pretty kind of crazy conversion story, doesn't he? Or like just later in life.
Yeah. Later in life.
So. Right around the time I started dating my now wife, I had one of my best buds, Josh Twito, just kept pounding the gospel to me through my middle school and high school years that were relatively rebellious, to put it lightly. And he just kept hammering home. And for me, it was a lot of like my relationships that I had were relatively toxic. Still, some of them are, but
maybe you're like
it's different now. But it was male, female.
Your actions in the classroom could have been toxic,
right? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It was all pretty toxic. I thought it was fun at the time, but that was when I started dating Elizabeth. I realized like I want to try this relationship differently. Like I know what it should and could look like.
Yeah.
And I wanted to give it a try. And so kind of is through a season of my senior year of high school, really got curious about like, what does actual faith look like? Mm-hmm. And so fast forward through college, I started walking with Jesus a little more maturely. And that's when like, the relationship with my parents started to change, and started having conversations with my pops, and they weren't pretty. At the time, he was really struggling with alcohol, and that we would just have like these blow up fights when he would be under the influence. And so there was a few things during that season where I just looked in my dad's eyes one night and saw that he was just like ripped to the core. And at that point, he started going to church with us. Pretty wild conversion story there. And so that was, I was a 21-year-old at that time, and we got baptized together, which was pretty special.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. Awesome.
Yeah. It really is just feel like it's the most vanilla story. Like it fits me perfectly. It's like you're looking back at it, it's like knowing me and my life. It's like, of course, this will be my story. It's like, very straight-laced kid, didn't get in trouble, good grades.
Typical oldest child. Feel you.
But never didn't. But wouldn't. I would say I would pray and do the things. But like, if you look on paper, it's like you're not really a Christian. Mm-hmm. Jesus wasn't my savior then. Didn't do anything wrong. Fast forward, your end of college. Start going to church a little bit more, like regularly on Sundays with some of the golf guys.
Shout out Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick Rada and
Clint Tollison. Those are Clint George's Lights.
Oh, hey, Clint. I haven't heard that name in a while. Hey, Clint.
Yeah, and so it's like, again, you kind of like Jesus, like I remember it was like my senior year, going. It's like I think it was the first service at Columbia campus of the church I go to now, still at New Spring, and pastor was like, "Hey, if you need to receive Jesus, pray this prayer." And I remember praying, standing up, and I think I was the only one in the room. I guess. I mean, I don't really know what I'm doing, but like it seems right. But you felt that tug in the heart. It was like different. Mm-hmm. So get saved there. Still, you kind of don't really know what you're doing. So you're 20. I think I was 21. Mm-hmm. And start walking with the Lord a little bit. You start feeling those things. Get baptized probably the next year or about the same time Wesley did. And from that moment, it's like that's kind of the marker of when I actually started like following the Lord, reading the Bible more, like learning, praying, trying to do what you what the Bible tells us to do. But it was like more of just like a journey. It wasn't like, okay, boom, saved, converted, like I'm perfect, or mm-hmm. Whatever you think in your mind of like kind of like your salvation is.
Yeah, you realize as time goes on, you get worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
Like you see that gap is larger from you and Christ.
That's yeah.
Right. So, and the cross gets bigger.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. So it was like a continual walk thing. You start serving, at church a little more. You start, changing who you hang out with a little more. Little things along the way that definitely are markers of like, the Christian, faith and whatever. So now here we are, 15 years later, you're, it's been pretty cool to see because again, at the time you know what you're doing, but like, you don't know how big of an impact like that mm-hmm. getting saved and becoming
a new creation.
Yeah.
And really just through that, like the trajectory of our family, like from the last 15 years, like mm-hmm. this is going to have effects across between my sister, really walking close with the Lord, myself, George, my mom, my dad, like you're going to see like generational impact through this. Amen. And, just by God's grace, he started with, I don't know, for me, it was, I really think it was, my pop's struggle with alcohol mm-hmm. along with Elizabeth. That kind of was that first domino. Yeah. That where I just feel like God's good looking back through the whole story of the Bryan family.
That's awesome.
Can you guys just talk about going through that together as you both kind of walked through that life, that nominal Christian life, and then you both have this transformation? Y'all's relationship seems to be pretty incredible. Can you just talk about going through that together?
Unique is one way to put it.
I mean, that's the thing. Like with us is, I think what makes our relationship work is we just like, I mean, we don't talk about too many deep things. We don't like, if you just look on paper, I mean, we text, and I mean, even in high school, like we would call like 3 or 4 times a day and talk to each other all the time about just dumb stuff, not even anything of value.
But what today was?
Yeah, just like, but proximity is what like kept us close and what keeps this thing going. And even to this day, it's like, we can.
I still get a text at 5 or 6 a.m. every morning with his Whoop score or. Man, MAAAAAAN. It just kind of starts the conversation for the day.
And so that's just.
It's so weird.
I mean, I think all family relationships are different, but ours is like, we're best friends, and it's just not traditional. So like, I think during our time, those years, it wasn't as much as us talking about certain things or doing. It was just like seeing each other.
There was a level of accountability that we started taking like through college, where George would call me out for some of the things that I would say or the ways that I would act, or things that we were struggling with. Like whether it be like in some of the relationships or I remember one of the biggest things George called me out for in college was how foul my mouth was. And Blayne can attest, like, and feeling obviously conviction from the Lord, hearing once George kind of brings that up to me, and then in everyday life starting to hear what's actually coming out of my mouth. And then
I was the one that told you that because my mouth was probably worse than yours.
No, mine was pretty disgusting.
Hot kettle action.
Yeah. You start digging into the word, and it's like out of the heart, the mouth. So it's like you start to realize, man, my heart is super broken still. And so anyway, like George played, and he doesn't even realize it. We probably never even talked about it, but he played a big role in my life of like changing my tongue. And that's like now leading into the content side. Like one of our main objectives is for it to be family friendly, to where Blayne, you with your entire family that's downstairs right now can sit and watch one of our videos, and you don't have to worry about the subject matter that's going to come out. Like there's going to be nothing that's profane. There's going to be nothing that's sexually suggestive. There's not going to be,
except your swing occasionally.
My golf swing's terrible. And Luke Kwan lets me know about it all the time. But so it's like that was a conversation again that happened in college that was
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, so that's a good way to put it. It's just, but we just kind of saw each other and how each other acted. And we just, through proximity and through like kind of just observing and that, things that need to be said to like help us navigate kind of through life. Here we are. Just,
thank y'all for sharing all that. That's awesome. Just quickly to highlight, I think a couple of things you said are really helpful there's things I've been thinking about lately in my own heart. And then for people listening, just the role of faith and the offer of salvation through Christianity is not clean yourself up and then stop being an alcoholic or clean your mouth up or go to church more and then the Lord will save you. Faith is just, I'm a sinner. I believe God created the world and I'm designed to live into the way he has ordered things to work. Mm-hmm. And I need a savior because my relationship with him is broken. And then the Lord just begins this slow work in us. Yeah. And like, I often think my testimony is boring, but then if I look back over the last 20 years of my life, I see a lot of sinfulness and brokenness and deviousness and foul language, whether that's internal dialogue or external. Yeah. And the process of growth in the Lord and walking with him is not linear. It's like up and down and down and down and down and down and up and down and down. And it's just, he's faithful to, in Philippians, it says, I'm sure of this, that he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. And I hope in that often, because a lot of times when I start going inward, I'm just like, I don't even know if I actually believe all this stuff, because I just don't. It's easy to, when you look in the mirror at yourself every day, you can't see change, but then you look back over 10 years and you're like, okay, the Lord's doing this. So I think y'all said that very practically, but just to encourage people. Second thing is, I balked here. We usually start with a bio, but I want to do two things here. This kind of points to Wesley's planning. I knew this was happening about 12 hours ago. 24. I'll be realistic. 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
I didn't.
The number keeps changing.
That's a lot of notice in my world, by the way.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, and so George and Wesley and I, Ben and Brock know who these guys are, but we go way back because we played college golf together. Mm-hmm. We didn't really meet in junior golf because we were from different states, but I was at Auburn while they were at South Carolina. I would love to get into some
of your you were at UCF. Claim it.
Oh, yeah. I was. I was thinking like Hootie, SEC.
Yeah, then it was Auburn.
Yeah, but so George, multiple-time All-American at South Carolina, correct? Three-time. What teams?
I was on a mission the first years, and
you were a first team one year though, right?
Third team.
Oh, okay.
Which still, you get on a team.
I have a lot of respect for your career. I thought you were first team, but
I think it should have been
successful career at South Carolina.
I think it would have been, because the way I was playing in the year, we didn't make it to NCAAs my senior year, but like in the year,
that's my fault. That's a story.
Finished like 5th or 6th at Augusta's tournament, which is a big tournament. Then go to SEC or go to SEC's, losing a playoff to Russell.
No, claim it, George.
No, I finished tied first, but I did lose in a playoff.
He will say he won.
I say I finished T.
Russell, who won SEC that year?
Golly, I was just 3 putted 18 to go to a playoff.
In college golf ties.
You didn't have a lab putter though.
No. So T1, so go like 5th T1, go to regionals, finish 6th. So like I am
rolling.
Like you get me NCAAs, like the course is a hard lot. I know I'm gonna finish top 10, which would probably get you to that second team,
maybe first team.
Yeah.
But no, if they're like in college, honorable mention is great. But if you make it to like one of those teams, that's like
for sure.
In my opinion, first teams, yes, but like first, second, third,
that's reserved for Blayne.
Yeah, but like you still got to play great golf to get on. Like I think 30 guys on that spot.
That's right. So. Yeah. So great career.
Yeah.
Wesley as well. Y'all overlap for 2 or 3 years.
2 years.
2 years on the team together, which is really cool.
Average college career too. Just
what's the highest score you shot in college?
Well, it was 101.
Yeah,
but technically it was 100 because I needed to 2-putt the last hole to shoot 99. I 3-putted.
Got it.
And then
you signed the wrong card.
Well, and then when you're looking at the scores online to see if anybody got close to that number, because it was a tough day, the wind was blowing and there's out of bounds.
Sometimes
everywhere. And turns out nobody was close to me. And I saw 101. I said, dadgummit. So I called coach and said, sorry for signing for the wrong scorecard. I actually shot 100.
But I mean, what a journey to go from
a 100 shooter, you know,
an SEC school shooting 100 to winning on the PGA Tour. That's amazing.
I mean, you can't make it up.
What year was that, by the way?
That was my junior year.
Okay. So we're
my freshman year,
toward the end of the college career.
Yeah, and
I remember those days vividly.
The best part, it was on a 36-hole day. So the first day I shot like 78 or 77 to 79, somewhere around there, and I felt it. Like on a couple shots, I felt
you found it,
the driver yips, and
you lost it.
Yeah, I felt a few of them. I was like, that was alarming. Grinded on the range for like whatever. So that was anyway. I go out to the second round. I think that we that had like a little break in between them, and you could go to the driving range, and then it culminated to where I hit about 15 to 20 balls like out of bounds that day.
That'll add up quick.
And then so the next day, the final round, I took every club out of my bag that I hit out of bounds, and it was comical because
like 6 clubs.
I took out my driver, 3-wood hybrid, and 5-iron.
Did you hit 4 off every tee?
That's slam hooked 4 irons. I only hit a couple balls out of bounds and shot 76, and probably one of my better rounds in college.
Heck yeah.
Playing at a disadvantage. My score counted.
That's awesome. I love it. So, because what everyone now knows you guys for, I mean, it's funny that Wesley won Harbor Town on the PGA Tour. You had a great college career. You pursued professional golf. I mean, you played Q School last year, right?
The last 2 years, actually my best Q School today got to second stage both the last 2 years.
Yeah. So
as
I mean,
a YouTuber.
But what everyone now recognizes you for is this YouTube, and it started. I remember when it started with the trick shot stuff. So what point in the progression of your golf careers? Just talk us through, because Wesley and I turned pro like almost the same exact time, got married similar time. So our kind of like professional journey was timeline similar. But when did y'all start doing the trick shot thing, and what did that look like?
Yeah, 2013. I'd just run out of money playing pro golf. Just never played. Just played very average. And if you play average in pro golf, like you're just gonna lose money.
Yeah.
Whatever. And so it was kind of that time where
Blayne didn't do that. Blayne can't relate.
No. Let me speak to that. I played on the Korn Ferry Tour for up until 2 years ago for 6 years in a row. I lost a lot of money playing on the Korn Ferry Tour for 6 years.
We're talking about mini tours, though.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you can be at the second best tour in the States, and you ain't making money if you're not.
So like that, you get to that time, you're like, well, what am I going to do with my life? Only thing I know is golf. And I had this dream, and like I want to be on the PGA Tour, but like the scores ain't like this is not PGA Tour brand golf that I'm playing. But you're like, what do I do with my life? And me and Wesley just goofing off one day after seeing something on the internet or on TV. Let's do this trick shot. Like, we can do it better. And we just posted one little clip, and it kind of circulates within our friend group and a little bit beyond. You're like, all right, let's do another one. Then that one kind of goes viral, and you kind of can see, like, I'm broke, I'm single. I mean, Wesley's still doing pro golf. Like, so I was like, I can come to you. I can do all these things. I have nothing but time. And it kind of keeps growing. And
what was the first moment what was the video, and where did it go viral? How did it go viral? Or do you even remember?
I mean, just across all the platforms, like on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And then we started uploading to YouTube, and you start to see like 100, 200, 300, 400,000 views and a lot of likes and shares and whatever. And you're like, man, I think we kind of have something. Like we've just spent a couple hours goofing off in the backyard, and now we have like hundreds of thousands of eyeballs of proof of what we're doing that people enjoy it. Yeah. So from there, George started talking about making a business out of it. And at the time, like golf content creation did not exist. Like definitely not in the United States.
Yeah, beginning of 2014. But there was like
George had this vision. I was like, dude, you are out of your mind.
Oh, I know. I knew you thought that because in the way you act, like this is. Like, I can maybe squeeze you in, like, in my 1 hour practice session, like, and so I knew it, but, like, it's like,
I mean, I still was playing mini tour golf, and I was not missing any cuts, and everything was going great.
I'm going to win on the PGA Tour. I gotta.
My first year of mini tour golf, I think I showed like a $500 loss for the whole year, which is a win.
It's a win.
Mini tour.
It's a successful year.
The second one, I think I showed like a $700 profit for the whole year. And then we were in my third year, and I was on track to make like probably $2,000 for the year.
Can y'all explain how that works real quick?
That's $2,200 in net profit over 3 years.
How does that
for those doing the math at home, that's gone.
How does that work?
Yeah, like
you barely survive. My wife was working a minimum wage job as well, and then going to PA school, and so. Did we like sneakily kind of buy our first home on student loan debt? Yes, we did. Don't advise it. This is not like a finance. You're in the world of finance. It's probably
this is not financial advice. Do not listen to anything Wesley says.
You maybe put a disclaimer on the bottom of the screen for that one. But anyway, George had this vision of taking like Bryan Bros Golf as a brand, and we had one of our buddies come alongside that was a very good business mind. He was also in the finance world, well spoken, could write a heck of an email. Yeah. And so we kind of put this team together, led by George's vision and Joe's
Wesley's talents. He was like, I knew like very early on, I did not have what he had and what we were doing. And so it was like, just play on.
Some of the, I'll speak to those. I don't know if y'all have seen some of the early videos, like some of the ability to make contact and hit shots was like,
it was crazy.
But what you don't see on camera is like, most of those were in the first like minute of attempts.
Yeah.
Like if it was 90 seconds and we were trying a shot, we'd be like, next, we're going into the next. Like, right. But rarely did that ever happen. So.
Yeah. It was, but we also got kind of lucky because Dude Perfect and some of these other sport content creators was just starting to pop off big time. And there was no one doing golf. And we're like, well, we could be the golf. Like there was like golf was like instructional and like informative, like the guys over in Europe, Rick Shields and Pete Finch. Those guys were doing more instructional stuff. There's no like
club review. That's
there's no entertainment. Yeah. And so we were like, well, what's that? There's no one. If it does like go like, there's no one in golf. We could be.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like I have the time and the like availability to at least see this thing through. Whatever happens, I don't know, but I got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And here we are.
So we film a couple videos with a GoPro, like our first couple videos. GoPro directly reaches out to us, says, "Hey, we'd love to send y'all some cameras and we'll send them, you film them. We'll take the footage. If we like it, we'll put it on our YouTube channel. Y'all send the cameras back. Y'all send the cameras back, but if it goes on our channel, y'all can keep the cameras." We're like, this is the coolest deal of all time. They send us like 4 GoPros. Yeah. And they're like, if we make something good enough and it goes on GoPro's channel, then we get to keep all of these cameras. Like this is a huge win.
Yeah.
Turns out they loved it. It goes nutty on their platforms and they were kind of the first one. So then Joe, again, being the business mind that he is, he's like, well, we've got, and GoPro wanted to do more content with us and wanted to sign us or whatever. So he takes the GoPro stuff, leverages it out to a few other brands. I was like, hey, we're going to be featured here. Like he goes to Callaway, then goes to Topgolf, and Topgolf at the time was just starting up and kind of fit into the fun brand personality that we had. And then from there, like the ball started rolling and I had to just look at George one day and be like, dude, you're right. You're right.
I saw this all along too, but just making sure.
I was like, but I can crumble this operation at any point in time. I want to decide to stop hitting balls out of midair.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, you did crumble it pretty good. But
I did. I got on the PGA Tour and then crumbled it.
But we're going to get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Do you have something?
No, that was kind of answered the question I was going to ask. Is you said you did this because you'd run out of money and you're starting to try and figure out what's next. Like, at what point did this become an income stream? Are you?
It was like probably the timeline. I feel like into 2013 we kind of like were doing the stuff, and then 2014 was when it was like consistent. And I had just done Q School 2013, 11, 12. 10, 11, 12. No, I don't think I didn't do it in 13 because I ran out of money. So in 13, we're just goofing off. 14 is like kind of when we were like maybe getting some free stuff to do videos. But I think if I believe correctly, the middle of 2014 summer is when we started getting like deals.
Like within 6 months.
So 6 months of like.
Joe had brought in like 6-figure deals.
Wow.
I don't think.
Well, no, I'm saying if you line up all of our stuff.
Yeah, like I think that was about the end of that year, right?
Well, before we went to Q School, before I went to Q School that year, I wasn't worried about being able to pay for Q School or pay for like tour schedule and all that stuff. Like we had stuff coming in to where I was like, I can play golf with freedom now for the first time. Awesome. And that's really why we built what we built, so that we could play professional golf. 6 months before like really like you go, wow, this could actually be a job, not just like something that's like, so 6 months. Cool. Yeah.
Ironically, sitting right over here on the stand where the light is, I just found this about 2 weeks ago. I have a GoPro you sent me like 10 years ago.
Oh, nice. There
it's
it
like
is.
the Hero or the I don't remember what it is, but that was from Wesley Bryan, so thank you.
Yeah.
Entrusted is brought to you in part by Primo Golf Apparel. Based out of Utah and built on a simple belief: golfers are athletes. When I first partnered with Primo, I was proud to be their first ever professional ambassador, because what they were doing wasn't just about fashion, it was about function. They were among the first to introduce golf joggers to the game, and they changed how golfers thought about performance wear. Today, Primo's lineup goes way beyond joggers, from polos to outerwear to shorts to leisure wear that actually moves with you. Every piece is designed for golfers who train, grind, and compete, whether that's in the gym, on the range, or in life. So, if you want to look sharp, move freely, and represent what it really means to be an athlete on and off the course, check out Primo Golf Apparel. You can visit primogolfapparel.com and use code Entrusted for 15% off your next order. Primo Golf Apparel. Golfers are athletes.
So then tell us, so now things diverge a little bit, because then you get your web.com card, and what year was that? And then just tell us quick that year, kind of what happened.
Yeah, that was, we got the content stuff. We had like a,
and secondly, does this upset you that he like now goes and starts having success playing golf? Because you're like,
are you kidding me?
So in 2014, we ramp it up. It gets to the point where 2015, again, we weren't making like an unlimited amount of money at all, but it was enough to at least play a mini tour schedule, which again, for people out there that don't know, it probably takes a good $50,000 to $100,000 to do it kind of the right way for a year. And we were at least close to being able to do that for the next year. And so 2015, we had all these deals in place. We're like, hey, we can go play professional golf. Well, then the content stuff got so busy that we didn't even have time to play in tournaments. So we get to Q School in 2015, and I had played in 4 tournaments total for the whole year. I think I had maybe less than 12 competitive rounds in 2015. Go to Q School with basically no expectations whatsoever.
Start at first stage, probably?
Starting at first stage. Get through first stage, get through second stage.
For those that don't know, there's 4 stages total: pre, first, second, final.
Yeah.
And you were exempt,
I was exempt through pre. Yep. And then I get through first stage, second stage, and then get through final stage. And at that time, like the trick shot stuff is really ramped up. Like, it's going unbelievable. And we start talking about how are we going to do this content with a playing schedule. And at the time, like that was when I knew that, hey, if the playing stuff doesn't work out, like this is a very sustainable business that we have going right now. But like, this is what we've always dreamed of. George is going to caddy for me. We're going to go out and do the web.com, which is now the Korn Ferry Tour. And the first week we go down to Panama, and again,
are you caddying? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I still don't even feel like I necessarily belong or deserve. Like I'm looking like it was a dream just to play in a Korn Ferry event, much less have any success whatsoever. So I go out there and I play really good. The first week I'm in contention and finish like
top 10. I think it was like 8th or something. I finished
like 7th or 8th in the first one. I was like, oh wow!
It also kind of sneakily sets you up for the rest of the year.
Oh, yeah, locks it. Because of the
reshuffle.
Well, I finished top 10 at final stage, so I had like 2 or 3. I had 3 reshuffles.
Okay.
But I finished top 10 there. And I was like, wow, I guess my good golf is actually good enough to compete on this level. So I still like, I at that point, I'm not even really dreaming about the PGA Tour. I don't even think that that's a possibility. I was like, oh, this is fun. We got, anyway, a lot of social media hype around what I was doing as the trick shot guy. Now playing on tour.
That was early in my PGA Tour career. And then we converged. And I remember being like, wow, the trick shot stuff was just kind of like a stage. Like Wesley's he's still rolling. Yeah. Like, this is,
but I disappeared for a year.
The content guy can play golf.
And then we get to the third event, and again, in contention again, George on the bag, and I win. And at that point, a top 10 and a win, I basically have my tour card locked up.
Was that Louisiana?
In Louisiana, the third event.
La Triumph.
And so anyway, ended up rolling. I remember the day after I win in Louisiana, George and I had a content shoot with Brody Smith. We had to get in the car, drive from Louisiana to Dallas, basically through the night, wake up the next morning, and we filmed the whole next 2 days. And I'm like completely gassed. I'm like,
I can't imagine.
What are we doing here? So
this is pre-Whoop, but you would have had a really low score.
It wouldn't have been pretty.
Well,
1% recovery.
I'll tell you what, I had about $45 worth of Taco Bell too. So that drive to Dallas was something special. And so anyway, we filmed, but that was where I was like, I had my tour card locked up. This is like a big couple film. This is everything we dreamed of at the time. Brody Smith was one of the most popular content creators in the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know like how sustainable doing both is.
And you're probably thinking like, I don't know which one, these are both great. Like, which one should we do?
Yeah. And George, he's caddying for me. And I'm like, this is the first time I've actually made real money in my life. I think I made like 99 grand when I won.
La Triumph was the smallest purse on the entire Corn Ferry Tour.
Yeah, but still, I made a huge check. Again, more financial advice that I wouldn't give out. After I won that event, I went and paid off my house that I bought, the townhome in Augusta.
Nice.
And then
you're like, oh wait, I owe taxes.
Realized the whole tax situation. So I was like, we got to continue to play good to pay taxes. So I made and that's not the last of financial mistakes I've made, but
you're still here though.
Yeah, we're still here, and so. I also remember George.
I don't think I knew that. That's awesome.
You also don't know the fact that George scratched my driver head. That for the first time in my life, I'm actually driving the ball good. Based on what I've been through, he's on
alignment stick got up.
Alignment sticks got under it. So I'm playing the back nine with alignment sticks.
I think it was Friday or Saturday. I think it was Friday.
Oh yeah, no.
So I mean, it was cut day, and so
for reference, I can't even like if I have a smudge on the driver head, I back off.
This thing was.
It looked like a daggum wild tiger had just clawed the whole top of it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
looked like
I
exactly.
That's our clubs.
As a caddy, you're supposed to get 10% of the winnings, which would have been, by my math, over almost
about
10 grand.
Yeah.
And I remember writing George a check for $5,000 because he scratched my driver.
Yeah, I mean that's a
true story. I don't feel great about it. I tried to make up for it at the end of the year and
fired me middle of the year.
I fired him,
firing you,
and then stopped doing the YouTube stuff with him and the content. And our relationship got a little awkward for some years, and then.
But I had the wherewithal to continue.
You kept grinding
as a solo artist. Just like I was like, I mean, again, I knew it's like if he ever comes back or if this thing ever like does. If
he ever loses it again, or
like if I stop posting,
they're always right around the corner once you get them once.
Because in this world, like you stop post for all, it's just you can't come back. So I had to like, okay, I'm just gonna keep it at least posting there. Like my journey is kind of like garbage cans. Like I think I played Latin tour for 1 year, and I was still doing Q school and like mini tours. I mean, it was good enough to post about it, but it wasn't any like social media stuff. It was just like golf, or like it wasn't trick shot. It was just golf.
You got through Canada and Latin Q school, which is you documented those journeys, which is people don't realize like how impressive that is.
I mean, the golf was good, but it wasn't like what people followed us. It wasn't trick shots, and so then the YouTube thing, I kept it going. It was more just like vlogs and like my journey, just like hey. We have these subs here, and if we ever get back into it, you stop posting, like you can't come back. But at least if you keep it going, I mean, I go back and look at like the 2016 or 2017 to like 2019. YouTube is awful. Yeah. I mean, it's truly awful.
George, you just baited everybody into go.
But it is worth the watch. It shows how far we've come. But then, things happen, and like again, I'll lose all my money again. Married, like, well, I got to figure out what I'm gonna do with my life. Like, I want it to be golf. We have this thing here. I was like, let's just try YouTube. Like YouTube golf is becoming a thing in 2019.
And I'm coming off shoulder surgery at the time. And so like rehabbing, coming back. And
don't even insert yourself into this.
No. I'm saying my golf career at this time is awful.
Hold on, let me do the Kirby smart.
Who says time out? Come on.
Let me highlight two things. Wesley didn't fully get to this, but you did that year like less than 5 guys have done in the last 30 years. There's a Battlefield promotion on the web.com tour at the time, Corn Ferry now, where if you win 3 times in a season, you automatically go straight to the PGA Tour. Yeah. So you bypass the money list and you just get your card the next week.
Yeah.
Wow. He won 3 times that year as the content creator guy, which was like insane.
Yeah. Again, golf came really easy for about 18 months. Really easy.
Yeah, it was impressive.
And I hit maybe like 12 bad shots and missed 12 putts inside of 10 feet for like 18 straight months.
It was insane. Like I was watching it from a distance. We had not seen each other for a few years because we were just doing different things. And it was wild that the trick shot guy got his card and then won 3 times and is now a PGA Tour member. And it all happened super fast.
And as a Corn Ferry grinder as of late, like I never played more than 2 weeks in a row on the Corn Ferry Tour. Ever, and played 12 events my first year, and I won 3 of them. Got out of the PGA Tour and had like back to back to back top 10s early, like early in the year. And then a couple weeks later won and went from basically hitting balls out of midair, not even on the map in professional golf, to being a top 40 player in the world, all in a matter of like 12 months. And golf was really easy, but then it took a really, really poor turn. I mean, it got bad. I almost made it the Tour Championship my rookie year and thought, oh yeah, like this golf thing.
I've been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. And then the next year, the driver yips just came in full force, torn labrum. George is keeping this thing alive. And then the next year when I get out of shoulder surgery, that is where I started to realize, man, one, I'm not even close to being as good as I think I am. The level of golf that I was playing is not sustainable for a guy of my talent level. You probably would have been different if you had gone on a run like that. I feel like you could have sustained for 20 years. But I was like, there's no chance. This is not my long-term option. And George, again, just like he had the vision from the very beginning,
that's what I wanted to point out.
Yes, I trusted George's vision for this next thing, because there was a couple guys doing it, like Garrett Clark and Micah. They had just started doing some vlog year style stuff, and they were really
Zach Radford
and Zach Radford. Those were the only ones that were really doing it.
In 2019, there's probably some other people that were starting to just real golf.
Yeah, but those are the two or the main
that I
ones.
saw inspiration from. Pete Finch, Rick Shields. They were kind of doing as well over in the UK, but I was like,
and Mark Crossfield.
I've got to if I wanted to do Q School again, I can kind of document this journey, play real golf and just see. And the first couple videos, I think the first one back got 6,000 or 7,000 views, which isn't crazy, but it's
people are watching.
That's still for first video back, terrible thumbnail, bad title, but it was based on real golf.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, mate, let's just do the golf journey thing. And then COVID comes, Wesley comes back. It was this perfect storm of people and people really loving YouTube golf.
I kind of begged to come back. We put out the first video, and then just a 9-hole match that was filmed with us horribly.
Oh yeah.
And again, bad thumbnails, bad titles, where we just started this 1v1 type series, just playing matches on YouTube. First one upload hundreds of thousands of views. Wow. And I was like, well, George, you're right. I'm back. I basically from that moment, I jumped in the deep end. I said, let's ride.
That's awesome.
And so now we're still trying to figure out when to come up for a breath.
I want to take it back to both your faith in all of this. So, shooting 101, but then having success. And then for you got the content success, but you're trying to figure out career-wise. In all of that, there's a lot of highs, there's a lot of lows. Talk about your faith in that and how that kept you grounded on both sides of that, both ends of that spectrum.
Yeah, I think let's see, that was 7 years, or 2017 I get married, so 2015, 16, everything's pretty easy. Walk is all, you're single, you have no kids, it's just job and girlfriend or whatever the time, to now wife. It was there was nothing crazy, it was just, I think, but now the success comes and not a whole lot changed, I don't think, but I think through the weird times of transitioning to kind of having no income to what am I going to do with my life, and then realizing it doesn't really matter. That was the first time, probably 2018 or 2019, because usually if I played bad golf, you would know, you would see it all over my body, okay, what am I going to do with my life? My life's over. But
people only like me because I'm good at golf.
Yeah, but you get married and you're if God, whatever happens, I have my faith, I have my wife, friends. It's not going to be the end of the world. I would struggle with it if it wasn't golf related, but it doesn't matter. And so I think in 2019 that was a big into 2020, finally realizing that there's more to life than our golf scores, our content. Now again, in our world, it's very tough when you see videos do really well and you get, oh man, this is great, and you see one tank that you put a lot of effort to, and you're like, man, I'm the worst. No one likes me.
That still happens today. Next week we'll probably go through that low.
Oh, for sure, the low. Yeah. But knowing that hey, we have our Lord and Savior there, that's really what life's all about. And then through that, church and community and seeing how those are the things that actually matter. And whatever we do on the internet or for a job, and especially now with kids, it's so it definitely has been
Or for all of us, whether it's in the finance world or the corporate world or in content creation or professional golf, we wake up with an instinctive feeling of what we think reality is, and what faith in the God of the universe by sending his son and giving us his word does is it colors our perception to show us what real reality is. And so we can, now we put on the lenses that go like, okay, I feel this, but like I know this is objectively true, and then
that's great.
It allows you to think appropriately.
And George mentioned that word community, and kind of how my journey went from being plugged in at church and serving, and I started something oddly enough that my dad always preached to us as a really, really lost person. He had some good insights on whoever you surround yourself with, that's what you're going to turn out to be. And so he always encouraged us to kind of not hang out with the loser crowd, that he would call it, which again, very wise words from a really broken, lost man at the time. And so that's kind of what, when I first got on tour and stuff, there were guys like Brad Payne and Stephen Bunn that had this college golf fellowship, which I never was a part of in college. But when they were the ones that led the Bible studies on the PGA Tour, which I'm sure y'all have talked about on this podcast, but really just surrounding myself with the people that I wanted to look most like. So there would be like the Jonathan Birds and the Webb Simpsons and the Ben Cranes and the Ryan Bloms and the Blayne Barbers and the Russell Henleys of the world. And I know I'm leaving a lot of people out, but like that was what my community group looked like through professional golf. And Brad and Bunn specifically would go through, they would have these small groups that would go through books. So that was when I really started getting interested in reading. I always read my Bible, but I never really supplemented with anything. And then started to learn and find out about all these amazing theologians and writers and commentators on scripture, to where you can start to kind of not necessarily formulate my own opinions, but have people that I trust formulate opinions for me that I can read. And so really through just a lot of reading from when I turned 25, that's when I started to love to read.
People ask a lot, like, what is your community look like on the road when you're not at your local church every week and you're playing the PGA Tour and traveling? Tuesday night was like an anchor point of community and getting in the Word together. But then Brad and Steven would organize book studies where we would read a book, and then weeks when everyone's not playing, we'd do a virtual call, or weeks when we were all there, we'd meet at a coffee shop or somebody's Airbnb. And like that was kind of the on the road community.
Yep. So they brought the College Golf Fellowship was the one that brought church on the road to us, which was unbelievable. And again, those are still to this day relationships that were formed 10 plus years ago, or still my closest buddies in life now.
That's awesome. So that gets us to now. You're suspended from the PGA Tour.
Sure am.
And
so is George.
George is too. We could dig into that whatever level you want to. But now this is the full-time gig all day, every day. You're continuing to develop the brand and the vision that George has sustained through all these years. And
I've had some introspective. Is that right word? Introspective?
Yeah.
Looks like Wesley's always been the like idea guy. He's like G3 thing that
George Bryan the third, George Bryan the fourth. Now we have George Bryan the fifth.
G5.
G5.
The amount of ideas that guy had for everything, it's like, golly, Dad, just like
right. But those were bad ideas.
Well,
most of them,
but like much like Wesley, so many bad and just annoying ideas. But his brain's always going. There's some
annoying,
but there's a lot of great ones, and so like kind of
George doesn't want to see me play like 10-year-olds or 90-year-olds.
Yeah.
Or stay up for 24 hours straight and then see what we shoot. Like there's all these things that would be fun.
Yeah.
And George's like Mr. Beast for golf.
Yeah. And so, but it's fun. Like I know that him being back in this, like I have someone that, because I mean, again, ideas were never my strong suit. And that's like, I have a nice smile and I can, I'm happy, but I lack like concrete ideas a lot of times, and like he's creative and it's fun to, like that we can do this thing together, and like so that's when we're I feel like operating our best. But yeah, it's interesting because it's like you're 11 years into it, and I feel like every video we put out, it would be like, well, what's next? Like, I mean, this thing, our our life is over, our career's over. Like, how are we gonna come up with an idea that in 2 months from now, and it's like,
if we just go back to just playing matches against each other, like we know that could work out.
Yeah, but
just to rewind slightly.
That's my wife. No.
Okay, well, I mean, we could pause it.
No, we're not going to pause it.
Okay,
I'm just calling.
Got some receipts.
This is just funny. I was a couple years into like kind of being intrigued by what was happening with YouTube and golf and everything. But November 3rd, 2021 at 7:03 p.m., I sent my brother a text and I said, I was kind of like, I was in a career, I was 3 years into the Korn Ferry. We had just finished that mega COVID season. And like my game was in a bad spot. And I was just like trying to figure out how to sustain my love for golf and continue to play and all this stuff. And I said,
I didn't know this was the Blayne episode.
Yeah.
Well, I just this is gonna relate.
Yeah, I think there was going with this.
What do you think of me finding some sponsors, hiring a full-time videographer, and starting a full bore behind the scenes YouTube channel for life, golf, fitness, etc.? And he's like, I think it's the perfect time to do it with your career situation. Could be sweet. I bought camera equipment. I started like learning. I tried to figure out how to edit, and I just couldn't make it work. But I totally missed the on-ramp. Perfect timing.
Yeah, that would have been a good timing.
Missed a $1 zillion idea. I lament that all the time. That's all.
It wouldn't have been a $1 zillion idea, but I think given your personality, you're great. Like, good smile, you're energetic, you're fun.
Definitely
like,
$1 million idea.
Thank you. But exactly. That would have been more than I made off of it.
But then you
not financial advice.
Yeah.
Be a Jace, they could have been like a good.
If I'd have brought Jace on board, it's a $5 million.
Because you have someone to film. But the thing is, like I tell people, like
I think it'd be a disaster.
Did you see him and Grant on the CGF single hole? Yeah. I called Jace after and I was like, I don't want to tell you this because you're my little brother and I want to like poke at you, but like you were built for this.
Yeah. I know you were built for it, but I didn't call him, which I would call him and be like, you got Grant Horvat on the channel for a whole, like, let's like have him ride us to the next shot instead of Jace ride us to the next shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But
Jace is more physically imposing than Grant, though. Yeah, filled the camera a little bit more.
Yeah,
Grant kind of gets lost in the lens. Jace kind of fills the.
No, that was actually fun. I was like, man,
it was fun.
On that note, George is trying to talk.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I'm saying like I always like about that time when I would just say, hey, go for it, film, like tell your story. But pro golfers, like we're practicing, we're playing, like we don't have the time to do that. And I was like, hey. I can't remember who it was. I think it was probably Luke Kwan in the early stages. Like, hey, hire a video guy, have him come and film and do the stuff for you because it is an interesting story to tell.
Yeah.
But doing it yourself, and it's just like, you do one, you're like. Oh,
also, the tour was like no go on that at the time.
Yeah.
You could not film
at the time.
Well, but like.
Well,
just at the time.
Like James Nicholas now. James is a close friend of mine.
He was the same one. I told him like
James is like doing what I had envisioned essentially, and he's doing it really well. At a high quality, good production, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
But at the time, you couldn't if you turn record on at a tour event, it's like it was murkier.
It was tough. It was
changed.
You needed someone like
now and
Wesley because we were doing the same. Like basically in the rule, but like you could film your own stuff and have your own like shots from the tournament within guidelines for your own personal channels. And so like you could have done it, and you could have people film it for you. But again, it was a great area, but you have Wesley who's very like he's gonna make all the calls and say, hey, this is what we're doing, and just
is that what you would do?
Yeah. But again, it was within
some of the conversations.
Hold what you're thinking. Right. Whatever you think, you just keep it.
I know. No trust me.
But again, that's what like within the guidelines. Wesley's like we weren't doing anything illegal, but we were just like. Because, again, it was very murky, and it still is.
Teeter-tottering, for sure.
Yeah.
But, again, because we knew it was like, because, like, oh, we want to do this because, but, like, we knew it was a cool thing to tell a story that people aren't seeing. Like, again, he was the 150th best player on the tour. Like
worse than that. But I looked at it as what the reason the PGA Tour has those in place is to protect their, like, their CBS and NBC contract, like the name, image, and likeness, and make sure that if you're going to go monetize off of Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler, it's going to come through us. Like we own them.
Yes.
As someone that's not being shown on television, like they don't need to protect me because I'm not a brand for them.
Yeah.
And what we have always tried to do is do right by our audience, the people that support us and watch us do what we do. And like we knew that they would love to see this stuff. And it really didn't affect the NBC CBS stuff because they weren't showing me on television anyway.
Yeah.
So we were just trying to give them a look into again what you wanted to do in 2021. We started that up, and it was going great. We had a fantastic relationship with the social team at the PJ. And I say fantastic. I said a lot of ridiculous things to some of those people, but we worked really well together. And then a few things happened, and then other people wanted to start doing it, and then they got mad and started talking to tour. Well, it
kind of makes sense. Like if Rory to come to the tour and want to do what we were doing, they'd be like, "Whoa!"
Right. Yeah. And, that's what they told me. I said, "Now until Rory McIlroy shows up with a full camera crew and wants to vlog his rounds and have a crew as invasive as what we were doing," I was like, then it would become a problem. Yeah. But until then, I just feel like this is the right thing to do.
He's
right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, nobody's going to do it. Yeah. I was the only one dumb enough in that hybrid position to do it. Yeah. And then there were, and what's disappointing is what gets back to me of people like peers amongst us chattering and complaining about what we were doing just because they think we're breaking the rules and why can't you let me do all this stuff, which they weren't going to do it anyway.
Yeah, okay, go do it.
Yeah, I was like, there's nothing stopping you from it.
It wasn't the rule. The thing is, like, we would never break rules that, like, because again, that's not who I wouldn't be able to be like, hey, we're sneaking one off. Like,
no, and I'm suspended, and I fully believe I still did not in any way, shape, or form. I from the way they are written,
yes,
in what I got suspended for, I am 100% convinced that it's a wrongful termination. But
you could
letter of the law versus spirit of the law.
Well,
yeah, it is a gray because
yeah. I mean I get both sides of it, but at the end of the day, the decision I made was again like that. The people that watch us and support us. Like doing right by them is doing the content, like the duels. Essentially, is what I got suspended for, and it was totally
but the PJ Tour was great. They always, I mean, it was cool that they allowed. I mean, because again, even they knew like it was they never had a YouTuber play on the PJ Tour before, so they didn't have to account for this. So like they worked with us well to like again within the guidelines that were written. We were operating fine, but they had never had that to like deal with this.
Exactly.
So in those 3 or 4 years that we were doing what we were doing. They were great, and they still like were very helpful, and I mean they allowed.
Because you played, how many tour events have you played now?
3.
Yeah.
So like again,
George's.
Then it's like PJ Tour versus Live, and like Wesley hates PJ Tour, and like no, it's like we still root for them. We still want to.
I was just on a lie detector test with Tacoma.
Oh, nice.
A week ago.
Okay.
About a week ago, and they asked, would you rather be playing on PGA Tour or Live right now? And my answer was PGA Tour, and
no lies detected.
And
powerful,
because
right now, as it sits here today, that's what I want to do.
Yeah,
I would rather you do none because it's so much nicer now. We could go on a road trip to wherever we're going to and just like, hey man, let's do this. If this was videos on tour, you'd be playing Bermuda, RSM. And it would be like, okay, I guess I don't know when we can do this.
Last year was a terrible year for us, George. I played 20 tour events. It's a terrible year.
Yeah, it was chaotic.
For me, not for you.
Yeah. But it is nice now being able to like just kind of set a schedule.
Yeah.
Although it has been hectic.
You're really doing a good job. 12 hours ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Setting a schedule. That's mostly on me.
Hey, we're coming.
You're good. I don't know how it works, but so you're suspended indefinitely? Or
again, I don't really know. They won't take my phone calls. I've tried a few times. Again, I have a few questions. I feel like I want to, and I could get other people to ask these questions for me, but I still will occasionally just have a FaceTime or a phone call out of the dark, and it doesn't.
2 years, 27 or something.
Well, no, my second letter was March of 2027. I can ask for reinstatement, but then I think I broke another rule. And then they said, yeah, we'll just have a conversation at a later date. So,
but do you think your golf game is like, are you still?
He played in Asia 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Made the cut, had a good week.
Golf game is, great. It feels good and ready to
It's actually
compete.
A cool video. It's a 3-hour video. They let them have like full.
Yeah, the Asia Tour was great.
During the tournament, like cameras and mics.
So I'm not a big golfer, so I don't keep up with all.
You can hear him like whining to himself during the round.
We were talking about last night.
Okay, Blayne, I wish you could have been mic'd up for a lot of your rounds.
I don't. I'm really grateful I was not. I'm just saying we can hear yours. Thankfully, you can't hear mine. Praise the
Is
Lord.
it the internet invitational?
Yeah.
That just happened?
Yeah.
Everybody online.
Golly, that's
somebody
breaking
said everybody online thought that y'all won the whole thing. I guess based on etiquette or something. What was he saying?
Wow, we got praises for being like nice. There was a couple of those comments. Like
I don't know. Someone was telling us about it.
I'll tell you what, if you have Bobby Fairways as your partner and you spend a lot of time on camera with Bob, that is a win-win. You cannot lose in that situation.
It was cool. Like that one. Like there's some things I disagree with how some things were portrayed or done, but at the same time, like year one of everyone's been asking, hey, they want like a YouTube golf tournament. And the fact that they pulled it off, wherever you think of him, he made it happen, and the internet and the results were 10x probably what everyone's thinking. Yeah, not literally, but at the same time, like it blew everyone's minds. Sure. Like and it
so much engagement.
It took over the golf world. Yeah, not just YouTube golf, it took over the golf world. So it's cool to like. Be a part of that. Dare I say, it made a splash in just pop culture. Like it went well beyond golf. So it was cool to be a part of it. I wish I would played better. Obviously, grand prize are pretty sick, but like you go, like it goes back.
So did Barstool just put up the money for the winners or something?
I guess. I mean, they just had sponsors that they.
But like the 3-man team won $1 million. Yeah, that's how it worked.
Yeah. And so but it goes back to like I'm able to do. It
goes back to your $1 zillion idea. You could have been. That would have
at least been $333,000.
You would have been in the Internet Invitational.
Yeah. But it feels like a golf tournament, so it's cool that like we can blend YouTube golf, like creating content, but also our desire to play competitive golf. And so I'm in there playing with creators. I mean, on paper, it's not a golf tournament, but at the same time, like
I have a question.
For me, it feels like nervous.
Your question should be. As a believer, walking into that dark of a place in the Internet Invitational, what is it like being a light in that dark of a place?
Hey, so walking into the Internet Invitational,
I can't answer that question. It was.
Was it wild?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can get to that. I've thought a blend between competitive golf and. Like, I still love to play. Like, I miss the competition, but I'm now in a different phase of my life. Mm-hmm. What? Because of the eyeballs that it now attracts, is there not a scenario where, like, a new tour could be created almost where you have post-edited live competition amongst elite players, like 30 to 50-man fields, and sponsors put up money because they're going to get millions of eyeballs, and you just get, like, you just attract great players, whether it's college guys who have NIL ability to make money, or it's former pros, or it's pros that don't have a place to play. And you just like put on an amazing golf tournament. That's like, is that going to happen?
We've been trying to figure out how to. Like,
I feel like that would give more looks than a tour event now.
Imagine the PGA Tour doing an Internet Invitational style with their be like, hey,
with their 15 best guys.
They're 40, the top 50 in the world. And you film it over just like a normal week.
You go crazy.
It would be.
Is it just because of is it just because we're so traditional in the sense of like the results could get leaked, or like you may miss a shot, or like because you get 10 to 30 camera guys out there with y'all, like y'all's camera guys are amazing.
But Rory McIlroy, based on what he said about YouTube golf in the last year, he's not doing it. He's like, what do I have to do for it? But realistically, the way Liv has taken ownership of their players, like they reasonably could pull that off.
But I'm just saying, you don't even have to have the best players in the world because people watch Bob and.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying if the PGA Tour were to do it and go absolutely all in on that one concept once a year.
Chips.
Yeah, just put them all in the middle of the table.
Tens of millions of views.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But that is like we mentioned. I mean, the last couple of years, like how do you make a YouTube tour? Like, it's so hard to get. You have to get everyone's buy-in across the board. Like, and it's
almost view it as a match. Yeah. Like it would be the match.
I know,
but it's competitive, and like you could be 36 holes instead of 72 or whatever.
Yeah, no, it'd be 100% watch like you saw in the Barstool thing.
It'd be cool.
Like. That's what, because there's a space where people want to watch good golf on YouTube, and so like, and also you get the entertainment, so you can blend the two where it's competitive but also fun, and that's what we, we're not naturally as funny or as like entertaining as a Bob and some of those guys, so like people are probably going to watch us more for the golf than some of these other people, and so like. There's
everyone's like a wet napkin compared to Bob.
Yeah,
he's a unicorn. He is.
Yeah. That's fair. I told him I just want to be funny like you. It's like George. I just want to hit a driver like you. I'm like, that's fine, but I want to be funny.
Okay, let's trade.
So there's a space for it. And like again, that would be like how 10 of the best creators and 10 pros play like a YouTube an invitational thing. Yeah. That's why the duels came along. It's like people
that's what I'm
want to see high level golfers with creators shot in a YouTube format, and
it'll happen.
Yeah,
it'll happen.
So as we just kind of tie this all together, wrapping it up, thinking about our podcast being entrusted and what you guys are entrusted with. You've got this platform. You even alluded to it with walking into some of these dark spaces. I think I read that your favorite verse is Galatians 5:22 or 22 and 23. Is this fruit of the Spirit? Is that right?
Good research.
Yeah.
So just with this platform you guys have,
That is awesome. That's why
for those who don't know, the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law. As you guys have just these millions of views, you're going through all these different things, you're walking through this suspension, all that the Lord's given you guys, what does that mean to y'all? How are you walking through that faithfully for both of you?
I'll lead off. One, it's making space for the Spirit to wash over. And so like relationally with my wife, is a good starting spot. And then professionally and what we're doing, like you just read the list of the fruits of the Spirit. I don't think there's anybody, believer, non-believer, that list of characteristics sounds bad. Like that's something that, everybody universally would be like, that's a quality of a friend that I would want to have, a person that I would want to marry, a kid that I would want to raise. And so really just seeing those fruits of the Spirit kind of manifesting in like me as the head of the household, like I have responsibility over my children and my wife to make sure that list is that we're actually seeing fruit being bore in those areas. So, and then again with George as well, like that, like those are like good markers to look back over seasons and be like, hey, is there any evidence of the Spirit working in our heart? So, that's kind of the way that I kind of like, that's why I gravitate towards that.
Yeah. I just want to use the platform to be a light, just in the world. Even, it's a good platform to be a witness, to like help spread the gospel, but like just even from non-Christians, we just want to be like lights in the world, in the golf world, and be the beacon of hope. Even if you're not a believer, you can still like, hey, they have a lot of joy. They have like, I see them smiling and they're, I don't know. And so like, I just want to be a light, use Bryan Bros Golf to be that, but also at home, like that's kind of about that. I just want us to be lights in our community and, at church, with the kids or whatever. I just want like that to be, I want people that non-believers can look at us and be like, or even believers as well, is like, what's different about them? And it's totally just that, the way we're smiling or talking or how we're positive. And
you do a good job with that.
Yeah. And so like, that's kind of what, So at least one of us can be happy and smiling,
Oh, I was giving you the opportunity to say, you do a good job with that as well, Wesley. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, sometimes. No, but so that's kind of, I mean, again,
you smile a lot when you're really mad. I mean, like it still permeates off your face.
I don't get mad.
Yeah. And so that's kind of what we like want us to be, just be lights. And it's been cool seeing messages, because again, I think it's trying to get the word out in videos. Do we always do a great job of that? No. But like the message we do get, it's like, man, we can tell, you guys Christians, we can tell like the way, like there's something different about y'all smiling. So it's very affirming when you see those messages.
That's right.
Because again, we all don't believe the best in ourselves. We're like, we're the worst, like we're messing. But then you kind of re-message like, okay, maybe we are doing a good thing, and the Lord's using this platform in ways that we might not believe at times. So
that's right.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
You guys got anything else before our typical closing questions?
No.
Do you know the closing ones? You want to ask them this time?
I don't know it.
All right. Ask that to finish, but I was just going to say to everyone listening, watching, interacting, we probably will. There'll be a lot of people that aren't into golf or friends with you guys or are just interested in it. Like go check out their stuff. Like send it to your friends. It's awesome. It's fun. It's great for your family. I love doing this stuff with my boys because it's something that we both can connect on. And like you said, it's a great, easy, simple, non-offensive, clean thing to just sit down and do as a family. So check out the Bryan Bros.
So that does lead to one of our closing questions. So we have 2 closing questions. I'm going to pose one to you and one to you. The one for you, since we already know the fruit of the Spirit for him, we always ask our guests if there's a podcast, a book, even just a book of the Bible, a passage. If you were just to point the people who listen to this to something that could be encouraging in their walk with the Lord, what would that be? And then after you answer that, our last one that we always ask is if you just want to point our listeners to one video for you guys, if you were like, if y'all just want to go find our best thing, funniest thing, whatever it is, what would you point them to? So, George.
I mean, shoot, Wesley's a book guy. I can't tell you the last book I read, other than the Bible. Which one? I think I'm reading Jon Tyson's. Was it the one about fatherhood? Where his golly,
is it The Intentional Father?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Good job.
But go
that one.
But just go get plugged into the community. Like, 'cause I think people like, yeah, I go to church and, you know, I've been reading my Bible, but like being around other believers and people walking with them and doing life in community is like something I always like, kind of like preach or like, I mean, there's value into there's fruit that comes of being around people like that, not just going to church and okay, I do church and I read my Bible. I'm good. So, yeah, book. Maybe you can give a book. I don't.
That was good.
Really
Intentional Father by Jon Tyson.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is just the best video, something that we've done.
Yeah.
All
of them.
No.
Just start
Just if someone has never seen anything, which they probably have, but if they haven't and they're watching this and they're like, those guys were awesome, I want to go find the best video, where would you point them to immediately?
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, I think I would have to point to something in our major cut.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
And specifically somewhere like a Pinehurst or Bethpage or Port Rush. Like those.
You just want Bethpage because you shot like 64 the second round or something. Don't watch the Grant's channel when I shot 64.
Yeah. My second round of all other than
he dominates.
My second round. I think the best round of golf I ever played was round 1 on Grant's channel at Kiowa in 40-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, that was good.
That's a good one. It embodies everything. Yeah.
So Grant obviously is.
Do y'all have a running tally of who's done better on those?
There's someone on there
because lately it seems like you've been way better than Wes.
On first rounds, but then second rounds I just put it in park and try to make the cut.
You only watch Grant's channel. You only watch Grant's channel. You just exposed yourself.
Maybe
this is ridiculous.
Sorry.
Then second rounds I
just watched George whip up on you and I'm like, okay, George is better. I just quit watching. I just don't watch this.
First round, I dominate. But it's like me in pro golf. I get near a cut line and I start like trying to make cuts instead of trying to like win.
Yeah.
You know how that goes.
Hard. Yeah.
End up right on the cut line or missing or making my one.
That's right.
I just feel like the major cut is one with Grant, who's basically a brother to us at this point. And we have like there's obviously a skill gap between George and I and Grant. And the first video on his channel kind of usually he'll stay near the cut line because these are major championships and it's hard and he can play, if he plays good, he at least will have a chance going into round 2. And so it stays like competitive to the cut line on his channel. And then on the second day, George and I are usually inside or around the cut line and competitive to making the cut, which Grant can. So it's like you get a payoff. But for each channel, I feel like the series is set up perfect. They also had awesome golf courses. We're all pulling for each other. Yeah. There are some games within the games, but we are overall encouraging and pulling for everyone to make the cut. So
yeah, it's cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. That was a blast.
Hey, thanks for having us. This is fun. This is cool. This is like 2007 is probably when I met you. Mm-hmm. So 20 years of I mean, I guess 19.
Yeah, you're thinking nostalgia.
This whole friendship just coming in, culminating into
full
a podcast.
Circle into my upstairs.
Yeah. Is nostalgia sinful?
No. Crickets. I mean, Paul does say, forgetting what lies behind and pressing forward to what lies ahead, I press on. Let those of us who are mature think this way. So there is a sense of like remembering God's faithfulness, but forgetting the past to look forward to the future. Maybe. I don't know.
I needed to ask a question at some point.
Good question. Yeah. You did great.
You chat GPT?
All right, this is going off the rails. Sorry.
Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, everybody. That was awesome.
See you guys.
Hey guys, this is Blayne, one of the hosts here at Entrusted. We are really grateful you chose to spend some time with us today. We know you have lots of options, and we hope that the thoughts and the messages from this talk we had with our guests really propelled you to explore the design that you were created for. The best ways to support us: check out our socials, like, subscribe, leave a review, tell your friends, family, coworkers, neighbors. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we hope you'll tune back in next time.